What's up, everyone? Welcome to Heroes Avenue. My name is Darren, and today we're going to be talking about a few DC stories, and then we're going to talk about Marvel, just to give some of the Marvel subscribers and some Marvel viewers some announcements that happened over the weekend. And then we're going to jump into the comment section because we didn't get to read the comments on Sundays like we normally do. And it's because Rob is a dad. Rob is officially a daddy. He has a son now, and unfortunately I was out of town and Rob was supposed to make the video, and because he was at the hospital all day, none of us was able to make a video. So I'm gonna be making videos all week long, or until Rob is able to take a break from daddy duties to make a video for you guys. So that's happening. So I'm pretty sure when Rob comes back, or if he makes a post, he will announce it officially to you guys. But for now, I will be taking over, and we accept all blessings in the comments below if you guys want to say congratulations to Rob for being a dad for the first time. And if you guys want to give him any daddy advice on parenting, let him know in the comments below. So just a nice little gift for Rob. All right, so let's get on to the first story today, because The Flash, there is a potential that the Flash movie production will get pushed back again. Yes, and that's right. And this is coming from Warner Brothers because they just announced the start date for Fantastic Beasts, the third movie, which, of course, it appears Ezra Miller. He appears in that movie, and it's supposed to start production in spring 2020. And we do know, if you guys haven't been following, The Flash is supposed to start production, or I guess early production, in January of 2020. So I mean, it could be assuming the Flash can only, assuming the very first production date is January. It could lead up all the way to May, and then Ezra Miller just shoots back into the Fantastic Beasts series. Because I mean, he's not a main character, so I'm sure his actual start date won't be until like maybe end of May. Hopefully it starts in May, because spring is still, May is still considered spring, right? And so maybe he's there in the end of May to maybe June, who knows? But yeah, this is a possibility right now. We haven't heard much about this project. If you guys don't know, Andy Muschietti, the director of It Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, he will be directing The Flash, and he has confirmed in the past that The Flash is his next project. So he is currently working on that right now, and it's being scripted by Christina Hodson, who also worked on Bumblebee. And this will be very sad and very disappointing for me as well, because I've been looking for this movie, and it's almost becoming like a trend. Like this movie keeps on getting pushed back, and it's either what will come first, the Snyder Cut or The Flash. I don't know anymore. I don't know. So yeah, it's a huge bummer. I really want this movie to come out sooner than later. Man, that production start date is right there. I can see it in January. I can see it. Oh my God, they need to get their stuff together fast, just so they can start this already. Man, I don't know. Normally movies, I feel like they take, like, if it's a big budget movie, it could take up to 3+ months. I guess 3 to 5 months, right? That's not including post-production. Shooting wise, I feel like if it has a large budget, which I believe this movie does, it should be more than 3 months. So January to February, or January to May, I feel like that's a lot of time. Even if they start the movie, if they officially start shooting the movie in February, they still have enough time to finish it all the way up until May. Assuming Fantastic Beasts starts in May. That's a lot of work for Ezra Miller, but he's a talented man. But yeah, that's a huge bummer, but I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. Do you guys think it's going to get pushed back again? I surely hope not. That would suck, but if you guys do believe that, let me know in the comments below. Alright, so the next story is going to be quotes from Robert Pattinson's role for the Batman, because right now Robert Pattinson, he's in the midst of his character development. He's doing some research on the Batman, and he just discovered there's a lot of stories about Batman in the comics. Like, his mind just got mind blown. So in a Variety podcast, he says, I'm glad I've had quite a lot of time. I didn't realize there were so many Batman comics, hundreds and thousands. But I've been reading a lot of those, and not really just the classics. I just like reading the sort of individual periodicals. It's nice to kind of see the absolutely contemporary ones, the Tom King ones, stuff like that. Then he continues on and says, I mean, it's interesting to see what people are sort of expecting, where the character sits now within the world. It's very different to where it sits in terms of movies people see, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't even know how much you'll even bring in from those comics, but it's nice to sort of get as much as assimilation as you can. So it's nice to hear him, give Tom King a shout out, because of course that guy is currently writing Batman right now, or finishing up Batman, as well as working with Ava DuVernay with New Gods, which is current. I'm assuming it is inspired by Mr. Miracle, which I'm totally excited about. But I really like how he says, I didn't realize there's so many Batman comics, hundreds and thousands. Like, come on, man. Like, of course, dude the comic's been around for a long time. I don't know, it's crazy how mind blown he is, but yeah, and I totally agree with him, and on how he says where the character sits in this world right now. Times that are definitely different from where Batman is now currently in the Tom King series to where it was back in the 90s. Right now Batman is, it's really character driven. It's really in his we're really getting to know like the really deep emotions and what really makes Batman tick and who he loves, and really getting in there compared to how it was in the 90s. I'm sure, of course, the 90s was still really deep stuff, but different time and different narrative for the Batman, and it's nice to see that he's definitely into the contemporary ones, and not just like the popular Frank Miller, Grant Morrison, and all the other ones, Scott Snyder. He really likes the really grounded ones, so it's really nice to hear that. So shout out to Robert Pattinson for doing his homework and realizing there's hundreds of thousands of comic books about Batman. Of course there is. Alright, so the last thing I want to talk about today, before I do jump in the comments, is that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is coming out with a sequel. They just announced the sequel. I'm sure you guys already know, but it's going to be coming out April 8th, 2022. So that is a long time from now. I mean, they need a lot of time, because look at how artistic and creative the first one was, and how just looking at it, just watching it, you could tell how difficult it is just to make each frame. So 2 years from now, I totally agree with that movie date. Not much has been revealed about this movie yet, although we do know that Gwen Stacy's obviously going to be back. Gwen Stacy and Miles Morales, they do have a love romance, and she did play a big part in the first movie. So I would expect her to come back. I'm hearing Spider-Man 2099, he's going to be in here as well. Who knows if that rumor is true? I mean, that the after credits scene in the first one kind of hints at it. So I am so excited for this movie. I am so excited that it's been announced, and I'm so excited for Sony to expand this universe for Into the Spider-Verse, because I totally love it. I mean, I was at a party over the weekend, and it was kind of like a high school reunion. But everyone that knows that I do this channel, everyone just talks to me about comic book movies. And me and my friends, we were just talking about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and how insane and groundbreaking this movie is, and how I feel like it could have easily been nominated for Best Movie. But of course, it had to win that Best Animated Movie award, and totally deserved it. Yeah, I'm totally excited for this movie, for the sequel. I'm excited for what they do with it, and beyond. And I definitely want to see Miles Morales come to the live action in the MCU. So yeah, and if any of you guys that are watching right now that is a Marvel fan, let me know in the comments below. I feel like when we talk about Marvel, we're just talking to a wall because not a lot of people are interested from what we see in the comments when it comes to Marvel characters. But we love both Marvel and DC. We just know a lot of our viewers do like DC. That's why we like to talk about it more than Marvel. But let us know if you guys are Marvel fans, because we would love to see you guys out there, and it will definitely let us know if you guys exist. All right, so let's go to the comment section, because we were failed to do reading the comments on Sunday, just because Rob had his baby. So let's blame Rob for not reading your comments. I'm just kidding. I'm sure Rob right now, he's totally like tired, and mine is just going nuts right now, how crazy his life is going right now. Anyways, so first comment that I want to read is from Phil Shively. He says, I feel like Green Lantern and Superman Returns are extremely underrated films. I personally love both. Hey man, if you love Green Lantern and Superman Returns, go for it. It is subjective. It's just a movie. It really depends on how the movie speaks to you. It's subjective. It doesn't have to speak to everyone that's the same way, but if it speaks to you, all for it. I rather like more movies than I hate, because I rather enjoy everything that I watch, because that'll be pretty awesome. But I personally don't like. I could kind of watch the Green Lantern. I could watch. It has some good moments, but I definitely can't watch Superman Returns. I just cannot. I think I could watch Green Lantern more just because it's the first and it's the only Green Lantern live action out there. So I'll just take what I can. But maybe after this HBO Max series comes out, won't ever watch the movie one ever again. Anyways, and the next one comes from Michael Solaris. He says, I'd heard that Green Lantern series would be connecting to the DCU in the same way Marvel was gonna be doing with their live action series. That would be awesome. That would be really cool. But of course, if you're hearing anything right now in the internet, let's just assume it's a rumor, and that I don't think that has been confirmed at all. I haven't personally heard anything. I haven't seen anything on the internet in terms of articles, so I don't know. If you're getting your information from social media, from like someone's Instagram account, I wouldn't trust it. But if you do have an article, let me know in the comments. I would definitely love to know what the source is. So if you guys find anything new, source your facts. All right, let's read another one. And let's see here. This one comes from Rainian Michael Quintana. He says, enough with the DCEU soft reboot. Just continue the DCU Snyder vision. Then maybe the next decade do reboot. Yeah, I mean they obviously could, but I feel like the way the movie industry works is that it's better for them to reboot a franchise just to get rid of that stink that the previous franchise is leaving. So for example, I was just listening to a reboot on the way home from work, and they're talking about the Terminator movie, the one that just released, and it got some really good responses, and they're trying to just forget about all the sequels after Terminator 2 and just making this recent one as T3 basically. But despite the positive response, people still did not watch this movie. They didn't even go out to go watch it. Despite the positive response, and they're losing money actually. And so what I'm trying to say is that even though it is a good movie, there is a bad stigma to the franchise that people aren't even gonna try to go watch this movie. So with that said, it's actually better to reboot a franchise than to continue something that's hasn't been well received with the public, just to get out of that sphere. So I do agree with with Hollywood with trying to reboot something that has been working, but I also agree with you, because some of the movies that are coming out right now are working. Like Aquaman works, Wonder Woman works, and they found what went wrong, and they're able to fix it. So they actually could, if they wanted to, continue with the Man of Steel 2 movie, continue with a Batman with Ben Affleck in there, try to figure out a deal with him to bring him back. They could do that, but Hollywood will be Hollywood, and they, if they struck out, too many times, they're gonna just move on to the next thing. And unfortunately, that's the world we live in, and that's what's happening right now in the DCU. So we can only hope for what we have right now, and hopefully whatever they do in the future, from this point, we're able to enjoy and love these characters as much as we do right now. So, all right. So the next comment, let's see. Let's go to a different one. So this comment is coming from my previous video where I talked about Wonder Woman and the Dark Knight Returns rumor. And JN, he says, BVS pretty much was a Dark Knight Returns movie, LOL. I totally forgot about that, but yes, you are correct. I forgot to even talk about that. Yeah, I mean, if you guys haven't been watching, on Thursday I made a video about how it was a rumor. It was a huge rumor. Not that huge, actually. It was a stupid rumor where Hollywood is going to, or Warner Brothers is thinking about making a Dark Knight Returns live action movie, which I don't believe at all. I 100% disagree with this. But JN wanted to let me know that BVS was pretty much inspired by the Dark Knight Returns, and you are correct, sir. And let's see. And then we got Shinakage, my boy. He always comments on us. He says, Wonder Woman 1984 is a retcon, if anything. I don't think a full reboot. A Starfire movie? Really? Teen Titans? Maybe, but not just a Starfire movie. If they make a Starfire movie, she better be insanely hot and orange. What are you trying to say? The other lady, she's not hot? Okay. But yeah, I totally agree. They should make a Teen Titans movie. But I feel like at this point they don't want to do too many ensemble movies. They rather do individual character solo movies first. So a Starfire movie isn't out of left field, considering the world we live in, because of all the Me Too and we live in a more feminist world now. So I wouldn't be surprised if that actually happened. But I don't think they're going to move forward with the Starfire movie. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think she's better off staying in the TV world. Alright, so I'm just going to read just those comments for today. I don't want to spend too much time reading the comments, but thank you so much for all the comments, and let me know what you guys think about anything in this video. Let me know in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to our channel. I'll see you guys again. Bye.